r/ask Reddit. What is the stupidest way you got a scar? Kid in the church nursery hit me in the eye with a plastic carrot. It was 40 years ago. I've still got a scar. I was in a cornfield and grabbed a cob of corn to throw at a friend. The leaf from the corn stalk went between my middle and index fingers as I released the throw and sliced the webbing open deep enough that I could see my tendons. That was 25 years ago and I still have the scar. I always laugh at those movies where people run through cornfields like it's tall grass. You get roughed up doing that. Someone said that knife is for cutting tape, so it won't cut people, and I checked. This reminded NDS me of working in a dish room at my university. We had a strict no cutting utensils rule for things being sent back to us. They had to be hand washed by their stations. The pizza station sent back their pizza cutters and our disled yelled at them. The person from the pizza station said they aren't sharp enough to cut you and proceeded to grab it like he was a claw machine. It cut him on every finger, and we never had to deal with pizza cutters again. For clarity, the reason we had a not cutting utensils rule is they soaked in a tub before we sent them through the machine and we constantly were having to stick our hands in there. My foot was itchy, so I used a hunting knife to scratch it. I've done that with the sole of my foot. It didn't scar, but oh my god, the bloodless from a foot wound is scary. When I was 10, I wanted to cut a coconut with a big machete and on the first try I hit my thumb. Luckily I didn't hit it too hard, but I have a permanent scarf on my thumb now. Changed a light bulb standing on a glass coffee table. Yep, I fell into the table. I had a light bulb explode in my hand once while I was changing it. I've never actually flown from a table before that day. I also don't change many light bulbs. I stuck a hand between the gears of my grandmother's sewing machine while it was running. Ouch. Damn. How many stitches? Careful now. You don't want to start a pun thread. Dripping burning plastic on my hand to see if it would scar. Science. I was holding a super soaker reservoir bottle underwater at a lake to fill it up. It slipped out of my hand and shot up out of the water. Hit me in my lip and split it open all the way through to the other side. Needed stitches inside my mouth and right below my bottom lip. Got a small scar from it. My father fell off his motorbike and went through a bush which contained a barbed wire fence. Tore his mouth up pretty bad. But that's not the story I'm telling. No. My auntie had knee surgery when I was a toddler, and as she was just about able to walk, she came over to visit. Toddler me, being a little shit, decided to go over to her with my plastic mallet and bopped her on her knee. My father laughed so hard that his stitches opened. When I was about 12, we had a new kitten at home and it scratched my hand. Not deep at all. It was just a kitten scratch. Being 12, I thought it would be really cool to have a scar and kept picking at it for days. On purpose. I'm now 38 and I have a cool scar on my hand. No regrets. I remember having a very similar thought process around 9. I refused band-aids thinking scars would make me look cool. I'm now 30 and none of those scars stuck. I do have a variety of ones gained in my 20s. I have to put extra sunscreen on those, so joke's on me. The headrest of our bed was made of solid wood and had curved edges. It was wide enough for a 2-year-old, me, to sit on, and I used to love sliding off it. Well, one night I sat on it to slide as usual with my legs on either side. My leg on the bed got stuck between the pillows and I fell face first on the floor. Got a cut on my forehead which required 6-7 stitches. So I tried to sharpen my right index finger with those small pencil sharpeners in kindergarten. 10-year-old me shredded too hard on a razor scooter. My dad was deployed. I didn't want to eat as a child because I was depressed and missed my dad. It drove my mom insane and she cooked legitimately up to 6 times a day, but all I would do is cry and ask where dad was. Unfortunately, as a young child I didn't know why my dad was gone. Not that I wasn't told, but I didn't understand what Syria meant. I didn't understand why he wasn't there every morning when I woke up or went to sleep. Eventually, as an isolated woman who couldn't drive, without family or support, she lost her mind trying to take care of me on top of worrying about her husband. She kept trying to force me to eat. Sometimes I'd throw up. I'd always cry. But one time she snapped and she stabbed me in the arm with a fork. I remember the shock. I stopped crying. She started screaming. We sat in the bathroom and she held toilet paper tightly on my arm while screaming over and over, "Why are you doing this to me?" A year later when my dad returned, I didn't even know who he was. She refuses to talk about it. She thinks I am crazy, but I have the prong scars and the memory. Honestly, I feel sorry for your mom. Obviously I don't condone violence against anyone, least of all children, but she sounds like a woman at the end of her rope. A husband gone dangerously, a child unable to comprehend the situation and refusing to eat. She could be a great mom 99.99% of the time, and these specific circumstances were her trigger. It sounded like a frazzled, singular mistake, and her not wanted to bring it up is probably a reaction to the trauma that year caused for you both. Duck war. Dumb 6-year-old me makes a little tower of pillows, jumps at the tower of pillows, makes wrong calculation of jumping position, and instead of hitting the pillow tower, he hits the headboard. I got a cool scar though, without permanent brain damage, so it's a nice trade. Burnt my arm on the side of an oven tray because I took it out with the wrong hand and had to cross over to shut the oven door. Left an inch-long scar that took a painful 2 weeks to heal. I have a number of these on my biceps from working at a bakery, was carrying a stack of trays with oven mitts, and they slid back into my arms. Proud baker scars. I reached down to finger my ass but scratched my arm on a wooden plank. If I had a nickel. I have 3 scars from my dog just playing with me. What breed? She's a mutt but she's got American Bulldog, English Bulldog, Apt, Golden Retriever, Staffordshire Bull Terrier, Dalmatian and Border Collie in her. Put my hand in a toaster to see what happened. What happens is that you burn your fingertips off. It hurt like a mother ducker. I found out so you don't have to. It has healed nicely so it's barely visible any longer. After 20 years. I have a scar on my eyebrow from my brother hitting me in the head with a belt while he was pretending to be Indiana Jones. Held packaging in my palm and tried to open it with a knife by poking it. Not my proudest moment. I burned myself with mashed potatoes. I knew potatoes were deadly, but no one ever believed me, and now I finally have proof. Fairground test your strength hammer and bell game. Hit it so hard the rubber mallet came back up and hit me in the face. Now my smile is asymmetrical. Did it in front of most of my company. Now I'm known as that guy. I was just a baby, but this guy broke into my house and tried to murder my parents. He shot something at me too, but it must have ricocheted and back at him and killed him. I was left with a gnarly lightning bolt scar on my forehead. I hope you don't have to go on a long tedious 8-movie quest in a wizard school being a dong to everybody and trying to bring justice to your family while finding out how to stop this man because it's revealed later that he survived SND is coming back to finish the job. In high school aged 11, I gave myself a chicken scratch. Scratch yourself in the same spot until you bleed. I've still got the scar on my hand. Got a string tied around my ankle to see if it was strong enough to hold me back when I ran. It was not. The scar circles my ankle and hasn't changed in 20 years. When I was a kid I'd been watching Dukes of Hazzard with my grandpa. We went out to his book and I tried sliding over the hood like they do in the show, but got caught on the hood ornament and sliced a huge gash in my leg. I was shredding cabbage by grating it over a blade and suddenly found a reddish shade after some time. Turned out I sliced my finger a few grates previously and have been bleeding like a finger hose. It took 4 band-aids to cover the wound cause 3 got too soggy to even stick on my finger. I lost a bit of flesh and the skin that healed over it still looks transparent. I was 12 at the time. Whoa, you made it to the end? You're a ducking beast. I'll cut you a deal. Smash like and subscribe for more curated content, bruh. It's free and that's a great price.